Yo, sorry I missed your call.
Hey. Hey. All right. I don't know what we're gonna talk about, but we're gonna talk about something. Okay. Self-awareness. So I have here in front of me my journal. This one isn't really a journal. This is for sure a journal. I have more from time ago. I didn't realize it at the time, but journaling back then, I don't know, I was ahead of myself. I didn't know what I was writing down for, but I just knew I needed to write, because I was like, I'm gonna look back at this stuff and just see how far I've come, or not, and just see the things that I was going through then, what was the catastrophic event of my life in that time versus now. The difference between my journal and my self-help book is, this is where I let out all the toxicity freely. I vent, just get it all out. And this is where I dissect it and try to make reason of it and point out bad patterns, things like that. What even started me doing this? The 20s. I was sitting and I was thinking a little bit ago, earlier today, I was just like, yo, this has probably been one of the most trying years of my life. One of the most uprooting years of my life. One of the most, I can't explain it. And I'm not gonna say, oh, it's just because I turned 20, but I will definitely say it's because I'm stepping into a new stage in life. You're not alone, okay? I turned 20 in February. It's November now, and I feel like I just been getting uppercuts, right hooks, left hooks, smacks, backhand, front hand, any hand. I just been getting the work, and I know you have been too. I think it's part of it. I really think it's just part of life. Nobody's gonna go through life without getting that whooped. No one. Instead of letting it knock us out, it's meant to build our tolerance, if that makes any type of sense. Nothing is for no reason. Nothing that's happening to you is for no reason. Okay, you're here right now. Lock in. You're here today, right? You've made choices and decisions in your life to get you to this point, right? You've gone through things that was not in your control that gotten you to this point in your life, right? Well, I'm saying that to say, if you're at this point like I am right now and you feel like you're broken somehow, you feel like you're cracked, you feel like you're incomplete, you feel any of those things, I need you to sit and think and realize and comprehend. It wasn't your job back then to necessarily take care of you. Teenage years, toddler years, child years. It wasn't your job to protect you, take care of you, to nurture you. It wasn't your job to do that. But guess what? It is now. And whatever those people didn't do for you back then, or what they did or didn't say for you back then, you got to do that for you right now. Yeah, you're gonna get hurt, things are gonna happen to you, but at a certain age, at a certain point, you have control over what happens moving forward. You didn't necessarily deal out your own deck in the beginning, but now you got to work with it. You have to make the most of it. Otherwise, you're gonna constantly be in that season of sulking, season of self-hating, being stuck because you can't get over what's happened. Or not even that you can't get over it, but you're comfortable with the blame being elsewhere. I'm not saying you're to blame or anything, but I'm just saying, like, you have to reclaim yourself. And it's not easy. If it was, the world would not be how it is today. You wouldn't see half the posts you see on social media today talking about, oh, I don't need nobody, we hate men, women are no good, da, 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 all this stuff, all this jazz. No one would be out here saying all this stuff if they started within, and if they stopped putting the blame on other people. Now, that's not justifying any bad thing that's happened to you in the past. That's not justifying it. Let me put it like this. I'm in college, so like I be doing a lot of group projects and stuff like that. And, you know, I be if you know, you know. Sometimes you get to the point where you're like, you know what? Let me do it. I got it. I'll do it. I'll do it. Do that to your own life. Don't expect anybody else to fix you but you. Don't expect anybody else to pour into you except for God, because he's gonna do it. When you expect for other people to complete you and to pour into you and to fill you, you put all the power into their hands to make or break you. And one thing I have learned about humans, we will disappoint anybody. It doesn't matter how pure your heart is. It doesn't matter. We're humans. We disappoint. We're not perfect. We're not God. That's why Jesus was in here. He knew we weren't perfect. And a lot of this stuff is intentional, unintentional, for lessons, things like that. But you just have to understand that you have to. Let me just be real. I've never been closer to God than I am right now, than this past year. And this has been one of the hardest years of my life, like I said before. How does that work? Well, I think he does this thing where he breaks you down to a point where you have nowhere else to look but to him. Finally, I have your attention. Come to me. Come to me. It's not like he's begging. God gave us free will to do as we please. What you do with that, that's up to you. One thing I can appreciate now, being, you know, a young adult, is, you know, religion and a relationship with God and spirituality, that not being forced onto me. I'm be honest, younger, I wasn't always so sure exactly like who God was, what exactly he does. I just knew my mama loves him. My mama always my mama said talks about him. You know, people around me, they seem to like this guy. I still had that sense that, yeah, he's the guy. At the age I was kind of maybe afraid to be an acquaintance with someone with such power. You fear the unknown. So I think that's what that was. Now, 9th grade, we started going to the church, and that was awesome. Summer came around, and the summer camp trip came about. So I went. I got the chance to go. Crossroads Summer Camp. Let me tell you something. Going there, I wasn't quite too sure who God was. But leaving, oh yeah, no doubt about it. The conviction that I had felt for the first time, I wish I could relive it. That's how good that's how real, assuring it was. Ever since then, I was one step closer, you know, to being acquainted with God. So at first it was, I have an idea of him. Second part is, okay, I know of him. There's no idea. I know this is the real thing. And now I am at a point where I know you. And it's cool because anybody would tell you, you get to form your own kind of relationship, and every relationship is different. You can think of that like a mother and a father with all their kids. Each relationship is different, but they're all still important. You have your own relationship with God. Throughout this hard time in my life, we've just gotten closer. I say all that to say I go to him to pour into me. What does that look like? It looks like prayer, practice of text, reading. Worship through music really wasn't my thing, but after finding the right songs, you know, I got more comfortable to that, and now I like worshiping through music. But more than anything, I like to do it through writing. To each their own. People are different. Some people do it through dance. Some people do it through hooping, shooting threes for the Lord. You will figure it out when you get there. The closer I got to God, the more I realized the importance of having a relationship with him first, and doing everything in your power to make sure that is good and that is stable, before you try to do that with any human on this earth. Especially in relationships, you need to be grounded. This is probably all over the place. More of the story, there's so many things that's being learned, revealed at this time in someone's life. Looking for answers everywhere, or maybe you're not even trying to figure out why things are so chaotic in your life. Maybe you're not trying to figure that out. But for the ones who are trying to figure out, I don't want you to feel like an outcast simply because you're going through all these things and have no answer for it. I need you to know that you're right where you're supposed to be at this time. Don't try to rush it. No matter where you are or when, you always have to know about you, so you can translate that to others. Get some time to analyze. I'm struggling. You're ever changing. This is just the first part, and I'm trying to figure it out. I can't speak for I get, maybe that's why this is so hard, because I can't speak for the future, because I'm experiencing this now, and the intuition I have is telling me go with it, See it through. Everything will come to fruition. Is it out of reach right now? Maybe. Does that mean you're gonna stop working towards it? No. Understanding yourself and what made you this way up until this point, figuring out how you want to be moving forward, all of that will get you to that destiny. Do the work. It's very hard. There are sometimes I have the urge to write. I'm like, dang, yeah, I really need to write these thoughts down. I need to, I'm feeling this and that. But I don't. Why? Because I'm scared to face what I'm feeling sometimes. And that's just me being honest. Sometimes I'm scared to face those thoughts that I have. Yeah, I'm scared. I'm going to do it anyway. It may take me a minute to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. It's like, yeah, look, I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. If you're going through what I'm going through right now, you know. Another thing, it takes you being honest with yourself. I've come to understand that self-awareness is not common. Maybe you have people in your life telling you things about yourself repeatedly, but you've kind of just been, dismissing whatever they've been saying because you think they hating, or you think they just out to get you. Take it into consideration, because it might be something you need to tap into and analyze. For some people, it's in it. It comes from within, so they're able to be self-aware and know that, hey, okay, I have this flaw, and I tend to do this when it comes to this or that. Let me see why I do that. Some people can naturally do that, but for the ones who can't, utilize your resources, which is the voices from outside. I'm not saying listen to everybody. Those people that you trust and love, that you know are there for you, your friends, your brothers, your sisters, the people who you got that you locked in that bond with, listen to them if they're telling you something that's criticism. I've also learned that within this year, I don't like criticism. Not even that I don't like it, but my pride won't allow me to just easily accept criticism. It won't. And maybe a lot of y'all like that too. Once you get over that barrier, then you'll be able to accept the criticism from the others. And it's out of love, but awareness is key. Be aware of your past. Be aware of your present. Be aware of the trajectory of your future. I challenge you to sit, write it out. Write it out. What made me this way? What happened in my past to make me how I am today? That's step one. The next part of this challenge. How am I now? How do I function now? What's my relation to the world around me now? Honestly. And the last part of this challenge, part 3, where do I want to go? Who do I aspire to be? I challenge you to do that. For real. What made me this way? How am I now? Where do I want to be? Again, what made me this way? Who am I now? Where do I want to be? You're not alone, because I've been doing it too. You'll be so surprised at what you find out. Send this to a friend that you feel like need it, and encourage them to do the same thing that I'm encouraging you to do. And until next time, bye.